Unlocking levels, unlocking levels, unlocking levels. Hosted by Seal the Source. Tap in.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy CL the Source, your friendly neighborhood hope dealer, back with another episode of Unlocking Levels. Thank you for tapping in. I'm glad you're here. Glad to be here to be able to bring some more content to y'all. Just a little bit of an update as far as things have been going recently here in Hawaii. If you've been following the journey, as I know you have, if you're following and watching along on this video or listening on audio, you know not too long ago, a little over half a year ago, I moved to Hawaii. And Hawaii has been treating me splendidly. I almost said splendidly, so I don't think that's a word. But it's been treating me splendidly. It's been spectacular. It's been amazing. It's been awesome. And nothing short of dope. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. It's just been a cool experience being out here, basically on my own, figuring things out, experiencing new things, meeting new people, and really, most importantly, tapping into myself and away from everything I've pretty much known for my whole life, and that being San Francisco and California. You know, for those that know, I also lived in LA for about 6 years, and even though it was technically away from San Francisco, it was still in California, and it was relatively close to San Francisco, so I was going back and forth all the time, and kind of, you know, getting to that comfort zone quite often. And in doing so, that typically kind of, it was like a luxury to have in case I kind of fell on my ass. I can kind of go home anytime I needed to. And technically, if worse ever came to worse, I could do so now. It's just the mindset that I've developed in coming out here, and also have continuously cultivated while being out here and experiencing some of the things that I've been experiencing, and just kind of being open to life and embracing the adversity that comes along with that, and what that's taught me, and helped me become who I am, and it continues to help shape me as I progress further and further along into my life's journey. So with that being said, I've learned a lot. I've had a lot of time to myself out here, tapped into nature. I've been able to see a lot of cool places that I never really got to see, and revisit places that I've, gotten to know over the years of coming here since a child, and also just formulating some really strong bonds with my family that are here. And that's been really cool for me to kind of experience as well, because that distance always kind of prevented, obviously, an obstacle that we weren't able to physically be around each other a lot. And just being in a lot closer corners with my family that are out here, it's taught me a lot about myself. I've gotten to know a lot about my past and my history through these formative relationship building times while I'm out here, and also just really build stronger, deeper connections with them out here, as I've done that with myself. And it's been a dope experience for sure. I'm very blessed. I can't say that enough. I can't stress that enough. I'm so grateful, and that's no cap. Real talk. Like, I'm just keeping it straight up with y'all. Like, I'm always so grateful, especially out here. I have everything I need and more, and that's more so because I know what I have within myself. And that leads me right into today's topic of discussion, which is getting to know yourself. That's the title of this episode, is getting to know yourself. And I think it's super important. It's arguably the most important thing you can do in your life, is to truly get to know yourself and figure out who you are, what you're made from, where you come from. And I think once you gain clarity on that, and you really spend enough time asking yourself that question and coming up with whatever answers spring about, you can gain a lot more clearer direction on where you wish to go and move forward in life. And I think there's a lot of suffering associated from not necessarily knowing which direction that we're moving in, and life is gonna keep changing, keep happening, regardless if we know the path that we're on or we don't, or if we know ourselves or we don't. It doesn't matter. Life is going to keep going. There's constant changes around us, within us, all the time. As the saying goes, Father Time is undefeated. So with that being said, it's like when you do start to know yourself and really get to know the inner workings of who you are, as an individual, you embrace your uniqueness, you find out what you're naturally good at, you spend time trying to figure out what your mission and your purpose is, and what your role is and duty is in this life. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's important because I personally went through situations where I didn't quite have a clear understanding of what direction I was moving in. I was kind of following suit or just kind of going with the flow. And I've had some great experiences in my life, for sure. There's no doubt about that. I look back at my life and I think about all the fun that I've had, all the people I've met, experiences that I've had. And I look back at a great life. It's been a great life. And with that said, though, I can honestly sit here and tell you that I know I could have been doing more. And, the person that sits before you here today knows I should have been doing more. And that's not to beat myself up. I've just arrived at a point in my journey where I realize how important time is, how finite time is. We're all losing time as the days go by, and we all got a due date. Y'all heard me speak about that before, and we don't know when that's going to be. We don't know how it's going to be, when it's going to be. We just know it's going to be, right? And it's going to happen. It's inevitable. So I've arrived at this point, and I've changed my understanding to the idea and the reality of death, and I've accepted that, and I've learned to sit with that, and I'm still working at it all the time. And I think the importance of doing this is to kind of increase sense of urgency. It makes you recognize where your time is being wasted or being taken away from you by distractions, by things that are really unimportant in the grand scheme of things. And you just realize, that's, at least for me, I realized, like, back in the day, as much fun as I've had, as great of a time as I've had, there was so much that I left on the table in regards to my potential, in regards to understanding what my gift was, my natural God-given gift was, and learning how to give that gift outward into the universe, into the world, and to leave a lasting impact. And for me, that's what I've determined my purpose is about. That's one element to it, is to make a lasting impact, is to break generational curses. You heard me a few episodes back talking about how to break generational curses, and I spoke a lot in detail about what exactly I believe a generational curse is. And I just realized, like, the buck has got to stop somewhere, and why not with me? And generational curses are exactly that. They're curses that continuously haunt generations going forward. And if you want anything to change, not only in your life, but for the life of your children, for the life of your children's children, there needs to be a change within you. If we just continue to follow what we've been taught and, the norm, it's just going to continue. The cycle's just going to continue. After I go, my son, my daughter, they're going to carry on that tradition. And I'm not even sitting here trying to say tradition is bad, or, following like the family lineage is not necessarily bad, but there are certain things, at least from my childhood, from my generations, and I know generations before me, that were very, very difficult, and we still deal with them. We still deal with them today, And part of my inner work and my purpose and my mission and duty is to break that cycle, break it, well, and then move forward from it and really learn to build life in a better way, more healthy, more productive, more communicative, more loving, more peaceful, fulfilling way. And I've taken on that responsibility, and I do believe that when you have a vision like mine that's similar to mine, it could seem to the common spectator that that's a lot of weight to bear, and you could be asking yourself like, dude, why are you putting that much pressure on yourself? Like, life don't got to be that serious, blah blah blah. But I do believe that that having that vision, you're actually chosen for it. And when you see it, it's really hard to unsee it when you see the truth. And, I also do believe in the fact that life shouldn't really be taken that serious. But I firmly, even more so, believe that we have a duty and a purpose while we're here on this earth before we pass on to the next life or whatever happens after that. And, whether you agree with it or not, that's not up for me to debate with you. I mean, at the end of the day, you're your own person. You can pretty much formulate your own thoughts. And, we live with the choices that we make, and we live with the choices that dictate basically our consequences, whether they're good or bad. So I guess all in all, I'm just saying that going back to the topic of today's discussion is of getting to know yourself. You won't know what your purpose is. You won't know what your mission is. You won't even know what your gift is, your natural God-given gift is, if you don't get to know yourself. That is assuming you don't already know yourself. And, I should really kind of also preface the rest of this conversation by saying that when I ask you if you know yourself, that's not necessarily just the superficial stuff or the kind of common stuff that you would kind of hear when somebody asks you, oh, who are you? Like, what do you do? Right? These are very common questions that really are kind of casually answered, and they're usually answered like, oh, who are you? I'm Chris. I'm Chris Limcaco. I'm a Filipino man from San Francisco. I'm age so-and-so. I'm not about to reveal my age to y'all. I'm just playing, man. But yeah, real talk though, like that's commonly the way one would answer that. And I am not exempt from that. I still answer it to that way to kind of keep things short. Unless like I know I'm dealing with somebody that comes from that kind of understanding of something deeper and something more meaningful in this life, and we can have like a full-blown conversation and kind of get into that type of talk, so getting to know yourself is super important. And again, I mean, beyond your name, beyond your age, beyond your race, beyond where you're from, beyond the clothes that you wear, you know what I'm saying? It's something much more. And when you get to know yourself, the only way to do that is really to separate yourself from distractions and really unplug and go to a place of solitude where you're not going to be bothered. And you got to do this consistently. You got to sit with yourself. You got to meditate. I'm not sure how a lot of people feel about meditation, because I know that it's being kind of pushed in a lot of different ways. And, oh, you got to meditate. Like it's a life changer, and it's like an instant game changer for people, when a lot of people aren't having them type of results. But I'll tell y'all, for me, meditation is an absolute non-negotiable for me every single day, even if it's 5 minutes. I gotta sit with myself, get my breathing right, close my eyes, give myself that time, let my thoughts just kind of pass by as I kind of settle in and begin my day. And I've taken those moments to really sit with myself and ask myself that question: who are you? You know, and these are questions that when you ask yourself, you're gonna find answers. You know, at first you probably think like, oh, I'm so and so, and just kind of give those very basic types of answers. But then, like, you sit with yourself long enough, you're gonna start to realize you're much more than that. You are an actual spiritual being having a human experience, and this is super deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is didn't mean for it to kind of take that turn right away, but sometimes it is what it is. We just gotta let it go. But I heard this first from Jim Carrey, and he said, "We're not human beings having spiritual experiences. We're spiritual beings having human experiences." And our time on this earth is finite. We're going to perish. Our body is going to inevitably, die at some point. We don't know how, we don't know when, but it's going to happen. And I don't know what you believe. I don't even know exactly if I believe what I'm about to say, but I am so open nowadays in terms of seeking the truth, figuring out what is what, and at the same time not trying to get too far ahead of myself, just really trying to understand it so I can live my life out the best way possible and ultimately fulfill my purpose, whatever that is. I do believe that after we pass away, our spirit lives on. Our spirit moves somewhere else. It's just continuous. And like I said, this is a deep part of this conversation, but really, I think after death, we get into a place of it just depends on how you lived your life. We got time here. We're allotted this time, and I think if you live in a righteous manner, I don't want to get into the heaven and hell portion of things, but I do believe that, there's something greater in the afterlife for you, or life just continues on, or you might have to repeat, what you've been through in your past life until you get to that next level. Didn't mean for it to go this far into that type of conversation, because not even my beliefs are fully formulated on that. I like to take things one day at a time and really kind of be present and learn as much as I can, absorb as much as I can through my experiences in each day, and not get too far ahead of myself, because that's what kind of creates anxiety. It creates a lot of different energies that I don't typically like to walk in. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, everything that's going to happen in the future is all predicated on what we do now. And getting back to the original topic of discussion is getting to know yourself, right? When you get to know yourself, you find those moments of solitude, you meditate, you ask yourself those questions: who am I? Where am I going? Why do I do what I do? Why are we here? All these questions, you marinate on that long enough time, you're going to find answers. And it's going to lead you into a field of clearer vision, and you're going to kind of start to see things differently. You're going to look at your life, at least this is my experience. You're going to look at your life, you're going to realize just how much time I really wasn't taking advantage of while I was kind of like doing what I was doing in the past. And then you come to a realization of like, damn, the past you can't change. So what can you do? Is just try to, make amends wherever you can. Forgive others, forgive yourself, and learn to be with yourself, to figure out why you were even doing what you were doing, and I get to the root of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look back at my life and I was wondering to myself, why was I always getting so fucked up? Why was I always choosing to go out and get wasted and basically just lose consciousness? And I think it was because I wanted to numb some sort of pain from trauma in my life, from the confusion of growing up, without a two-parent household, and there's a lot of stuff I've been through in my life. If you've been following the journey up to this point, y'all know I've shared a lot of what I've been through in my life, and I'm very transparent about that. And I'm not going to get into it too much right now, but we all got a story. And if you're like me, when you're doing this deep inner work, or shadow work, as it's commonly referred to as well, you get to start to look at why you were doing the things you were doing, and then you can work on healing those parts of you. You can work on forgiving yourself, getting to know yourself, and building trust with yourself. And when you build trust with yourself and you get to know yourself on a one-to-one basis, and you figure out who you really are, and you craft and you cultivate this deep sense of self-love, and that's where real confidence comes from. Because when you know yourself, it doesn't matter what anyone says or does to you or about you. You know who you are. So someone could talk shit, call you out your name, attack you, and it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with that person. And I'm not sitting here and saying that, like, if somebody threatens you or something like that and is provoking you to do something, not to defend yourself. I'm saying that when somebody is trying to poke at you a little bit and test you, or call you out your name and try to get you out of character, when you do know yourself, you're not easily swayed into that. You know what I'm saying? Now, there are going to be situations where you're going to get tested and you're going to have to kind of step up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just is. And when you become that person of that really truly loves themselves, you're not going to tolerate no disrespect. You know what I'm saying? And but at the same time, you realize when the battle should be fought and when the battle should just be kind of let it play out type thing. When people try to attack other people, or especially like on the internet or something like that, they're just trying to troll, right? They're trying to get a rise out of you. And if you're not in control of your emotions, it can be very dangerous. There's a lot of different things that can happen when your emotions are erratic. A lot of mistakes are being made, a lot of words that are said in the heat of the moment that have lasting repercussions. And this is another huge reason why it's important to get to know yourself. Because when you get to know yourself, you know where your triggers are, and you know what to kind of like not necessarily stay away from, but you can kind of sense when things are about to go from 0 to 100 versus just kind of 0 to 100 real quick. You know what I'm saying? It's a gradual process now. Now things are slowed down for you, and you can kind of pick and choose, like, okay, is this even worth me involving myself in? Or is this just some bullshit that doesn't matter at the end of the day, or can be resolved in another way? And, for me, looking back at it, I was such a hothead back in the days, which is why, like, I would get drawn into arguments all the time. I would get into fights, and then you add the element of drinking and smoking and doing drugs and staying out late, not eating healthy, and all of the above. Man, that's a dangerous cocktail it's just dangerous all around, especially when you kind of are out in nighttime environments, and it's just dangerous. And I look back at my life, I've shared with y'all plenty of times, I could have died so many different times, but I'm here for a reason. And in my moments of learning who I am and getting to know who I am, I've come to understand that I can't die until my purpose is fulfilled. There's just no way. The time I die is when my purpose is going to be fulfilled. I firmly believe that. I got plenty of work to do here while I'm here, within myself, for me, my loved ones, my family, and just for the world. It does sound like a heavy burden to bear, but I relish in it. I love it. You know what I mean? Because I have found this to be the most meaningful work I've ever done, is getting to know myself, is understanding what my purpose is, and what my truth is, and living and walking that. And I'm still trying to figure things out every single day. I'm figuring things out as each moment that passes. Through each interaction, I'm staying open to what I can learn from others, what I can learn from my experiences, what the universe can teach me, what life can teach me, and just staying open to blessings, and just because the blessings are in the lessons, for sure. The more I learn, the more I feel like I can grow, and with that growth comes all sorts of great things. It's not just what's commonly associated with success, which is money. It's not just that. It's more so enlightenment. I feel like it's more so that feeling of fulfillment, that satisfactory feeling of knowing that you're walking in your truth, that you're doing what you're designed to do, and you're leading yourself to these moments of excellence, and learning and growth, and positive interactions. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful existence when you start to look at it that way, and you live that way, you move that way. And I've been moving in that direction for quite some time now, and I can sit here and honestly tell you all, it's a beautiful existence. I'm enjoying every bit of it. Do I have struggles in my life? Yeah, 100%. There's no doubt about that. I'm constantly welcoming uncomfortability. I'm doing things every single day, whether I be take a cold shower, go to the gym, wake up early, even get in front of this camera. I used to be scared as shit to get in front of this camera, especially when I first started podcasting. I remember I didn't even want to get in front of this camera and create a YouTube channel. It was more so me just wanting to create a podcast. I looked at podcasting as perfect for me because I do got a mouthpiece. I feel like I could talk with the best of them. And I just felt like podcasting was the best for me because I could just give y'all audio. I didn't necessarily have to get in front of the camera because of my own self-consciousness, because of my own self-disbelief. And as time went on, I've gotten more and more comfortable showing my face and being vulnerable on this camera, and just being transparent with who I am and what I'm doing and what I believe, and sharing some of the things I'm learning that have been helping me unlock my levels. And that's what this whole thing is about, is just sharing my experiences. I'm not trying to sit here and say I'm high and mighty. Maybe I come off that way, maybe I don't. But my goal is always to provide value. My goal is always to infuse you, the listener, the viewer, anybody that I come into contact with, is to have that person leave the interaction feeling a lot better about themselves, feeling a lot more positive about their outlook on what life has to offer. And I think that has been my North Star for quite some time now. And I've gone through a large amount of evolution, I can honestly say. And this is the process of not only getting to know yourself, but learning how to master yourself through self-discipline, through that inner work, and just trying to bring out all your potential before my time is ultimately up. Share my gift, give my gift, and as much as I can, wherever I can. That way, that's going to be the impact that I leave before ultimately my time is up. And then getting to know myself, and visiting that old self and coming up with the answers of why I was doing the way I was, why I was so self-destructive and toxic, and all sorts of negative behavior that I used to that used to encompass who I was. And I look back at that, and there's multiple reasons why. But the person you see before you today, I got to give myself credit. I've come a long way. I don't even drink. I don't even smoke. I haven't even touched none of that stuff for a long time now. And got to be honest and say that there are times I do get the craving to do so. But the self-discipline that I've established within myself has really kind of helped me stay the course. And the reason why I even quit drinking and quit smoking to begin with is because once I started to understand how much life can get better without that stuff, it just, for me, it was a no-brainer, because more than anything, even though I would feel good in the moment, it would deplete me. I would wake up out of that drunkenness, or feeling that inebriation, and I would wake up depleted, lost, more confused, more anxious, and my problems were still there, and I just wasn't prepared to handle it, and I would procrastinate more and more. And the more that happened, my problems tended to pile up even further and seem even more daunting. And it seemed even more impossible to get myself out of that rut that I put myself into. Now, at this time in my life, I've come to the realization that I have to gain control of my vices. I still have vices that I fight through every single day. One being food. I still eat shitty every now and then. I try to balance it out with eating good food, and I'm not perfect. I'm merely telling y'all that just to let y'all know I'm not perfect, but I am making strides in a lot of areas, and I am doing my very best every single day. And even saying that, like, I know I could be doing better. So am I really doing my best? So it's just really, these are the discussions I have with myself, right? Being brutally honest with myself. I know I can be doing better, and I should be doing better. And you know what? Damn it, I will be doing better. Because the person that I'm striving to become, which is the best version of myself, like the most elevated version of CL the source, the person that person is, the person you see before me, before you, needs to basically die off in order for the new me to grow and become who I'm destined to be. So it's going to take time. It's been taking time. You got to be patient with the process. You got to enjoy the process, embrace the process, embrace the adversity, let life teach you, be open to learning, choose growth over everything, and make sure you dedicate time to yourself, because that's the only true way that you're going to be able to do this work. It's impossible to do this deep inner work, this inner self work, when you're constantly distracted, whether that's by TV, video games, the internet, friends, family, going out and partying, whatever your vice is. Like, if you're constantly distracted, it's impossible to get to know yourself and do that deep inner work that needs to be done. And if you're feeling a lack of fulfillment, and you're looking at other people's lives, and you're kind of feeling a bit of jealousy, or whatever the case may be, I'd strongly encourage you to take a strong, hard look at your life and realize the areas that you can be better. And you got to start small. Start with the small things that you can, start right now. If you feel like your health is out of order, start by doing one push-up tonight. Okay, 1 push-up. The next day, try to do 2. The next day, try to make it 5. The next day, make it 10, right? Like, and just go on and so forth, and adjust it to your capability at that moment, and allow yourself to build some momentum. If you feel like you want to learn something, but you don't want to read all these books, but reading is a great habit for you to strengthen your mind and your brain and to just continuously learn something new. Why not read 1 page at a time? Start tonight by reading 1 page. Literally just read 1 page. Next day, read 2 pages, right? But if you do a little by little every single day, that little by little is going to turn to a lot, and you're going to have that momentum start to build up, kind of like that snowball effect, right? You see a snowball rolling down the hill. It starts off super small, but as it gains speed and it's picking up snow along the way, it's getting bigger, and sooner or later it becomes a massive avalanche. And once you get to that point, it's all about maintaining that type of flow and that type of energy. And you're going to have rocky moments, but by that time, you should have already established a set of non-negotiable things that you must do no matter what every single day. And just to share them again with y'all, I've shared this before, but my rolling list of non-negotiables every single day: non-negotiable, meditate. I do breath work, which is deep breathing, making sure that there's enough oxygen going to my brain. I practice gratitude, whether that's sitting in bed and just thinking about things that I'm grateful for in that moment or in my life at that time, or writing it in a journal. Journal practice is something I try to do every single day. Believe it or not, I don't get it done every single day, but I really make an effort to get it done every day. I'd say I do it 5 times out of the week. I probably miss 2 times if I had to put a number on it. So still that them 2 days is what I committed myself to. I got to follow through on that. Also, in the morning, I drink water right away. I fix my bed, right? I'm stacking up all these little small wins. Early in the morning, I usually wake up at like 6 or 6:30. And get my day going. Typically like to get up a little earlier. I'm not gonna lie to you, at this stage in the game, I've been kind of slacking recently because I think I'm in a transitional phase where the next domino is going to drop in my plan, and there's a lot of kind of apprehensiveness, I guess you could say, leading up to this. So really just trying to bat down the hatches, whatever that means. If you're a sailor, you probably know what I mean. And just really just trying to prepare myself for what's to come, and really lean into myself and trust my capabilities and my abilities to do what I need to do for myself, what I plan to do, and lead myself to a even better place than I'm already at right now. And I guess with all that said, it's tied into everything I seek to talk about in this discussion, which is getting to know yourself. If you don't know yourself further than your name or your ethnicity or where you come from, I strongly encourage you to sit with yourself in as much silence as you can, free from distraction, and just ask yourself, who am I? Who am I really? Deepak Chopra, for those that know who Deepak Chopra is, he always says, ask yourself when you're meditating, who am I? Who am I really? Who am I? Who am I? And just sit on that and really explore the inner depths of who you are. And you will be pleasantly surprised by what you find. It's probably going to be turbulent in the beginning because there's a lot there that you haven't faced for a long time. But weather that storm, be courageous and brave, continue to learn who you are, and go deeper within yourself. And you're going to come up with some very interesting answers. And sooner or later, you're going to realize that you're actually a spiritual being. that is limitless in nature. And you're a creator in your own mind, and you can create whatever reality you want if you believe it strongly enough and you're willing to put the work in. You know what I'm saying? I firmly believe that. And more than anything, I want my results to show that. So continue to follow the journey, y'all. Like, I really believe that at some point in time, I'm going to be living off of what I'm doing right now, which is providing positivity and light in dark places, you know what I'm saying, in dark times. And, you know, through my platform, using my voice, collaborating with others, you're going to see a lot come about in the near future. That's going on with the brand. Seeing me just really go all in on what I believe I'm intended to be doing. And yeah, man. So don't be surprised when things start to come to fruition, you know, because I strongly believe in my ability to manifest. Manifest is a very common word being kind of loosely thrown around recently, but I really believe that we all have the power to manifest. It just takes a lot. It's also simple though. When you know, you know. So I strongly encourage you to start by getting to know yourself, getting to know who you are. Ask yourself that question: who am I? And then as you start to form those answers, ask yourself another question: where am I going? And this is an interesting question because, you know, it's up to you where you're going. It's really up to you. You choose. You know, you have the choice. There are options and paths laid out in front of you. It's up to you which direction you want to move in. And you're going to have to determine that for yourself. So start there by getting to know yourself, y'all. It's really something that's of the utmost importance, for sure. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap things up on that note and just provide y'all with one last update. Yeah, I got a lot of things going on in 2023, man. So just be on the lookout, for real. It's been an incredible 2022. I hope you and your loved ones are doing well into the new year. And I'm just wishing y'all all love, light, and blessings from this day forever till forever, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, just continue to support what we got going on over here. If you feel like you love this content, please be sure to share this with your friends, your loved ones, or anybody you feel like could benefit and use some of this type of content. And I'd sincerely appreciate that, because one of my biggest goals is to make this platform as big as I can so that I can reach more people, help more people, and hopefully my voice can resonate with certain people. Because I know that there are certain people out there that need to see somebody that looks like them, or needs to hear somebody that sounds like them. You know what I'm saying? That you know, that's why I understand we all got to use our voices. We got to use what we're naturally given. You know what I'm saying? And I'm doing that as much as I can, and I hope to build this as big as it can be, and leave the biggest impact I could possibly leave before my time is up. So with that being said, y'all, I really love and appreciate y'all. Per usual, you know, I'm your boy CL the Source, your friendly neighborhood hope dealer. Thank you once again for tuning in. And yeah, man, big love to all y'all. Peace and love.